All right, we're just leaving Treffner Gorge and Simon's got a screwdriver out, so I'm going to see what he's doing.
Oh, this is just the awning support bracket that when you're travelling, it just supports the middle of the awning to stop it bouncing around too much. And I was just trying to adjust it to see if I could get it to sit a little bit tighter, just to support it a bit more. Yeah, so it's adjustable. I just had to unscrew it to adjust it, but it's just a bit tricky to reach. I did have a camp chair out, but then I packed them all away. So I might get you to help me, Liz.
Got it?
Yeah. Can you hold me all my weight? Can you or not?
Yeah, I gotcha.
No, I haven't given you all. That's only about 50%. I've got to give you more.
I've gotcha. Yeah. How's the support, Duff?
You're so supportive. More would be better.
You see. Oh, there you go. You do have me.
Hey?
This is like one of those trust exercises they make you do on camp.
Yeah, not something you should play with me, I don't reckon.
Alright, you do the bottom one. Alright, let me go.
Screwdriver.
I got you.
Turn around and I'll sit on. Yeah. Is that better?
Yeah, that's way easier.
Right. Move.
It's teamwork.
Easy. Done.
What is that?
You didn't high five me. You got halfway through and then pulled out.
You pulled out on me.
Caught behind Venetian blinds, out of reach for the city lights. This ain't where I belong. Hey, look at me, man, what I become. I've been running east, looking for a sunset, digging deep since '99. What I thought was gone was sitting in my pocket in plain sight all along. I think it's time for me to go, burn all bridges. All I know, I got lost along the way, fell between the foam, pulling stitches. Time to let go.
This morning we're leaving Treffner Gorge. We've actually been here, I've been here for 6 nights. So it's been a good little stopover. Really enjoyed our time here. It's been a good little base for checking out some of those other side gorges and stuff that we went and checked out. So this morning we've packed up camp. We just made our way back over to the main barbecue area because there is a tap where we can fill up with drinking water. So there is drinking water available here. So we're just topping up our two of our water tanks that are empty. So we're going to take a full 300 litres of water out of here. It's pretty good quality water. And yeah, we might as well fill up while we can. We're going to actually try and tackle this road that goes up past towards the Hale River homestead. Yeah, we've been told it's, you probably get through, it should be okay. It's been a couple of days now since the rain, so the track should have dried out. There is a chance we'll have to turn around. We may not be able to make it through, but we've got plenty of fuel, we've got food, we've got water. We are getting away from camp traditionally, just like we always do, a little bit late, but it is what it is. So we're going to tackle that road. Hopefully we can get all the way through and we'll join the highway about 60 or 70 k's north of Alice Springs. So that's the plan today. Not sure if we'll make it all the way around and through, but hoping that we will. All right, we'll go check that out and let's try and get back to the Stuart Hwy because then we are heading north. All right, let's do this. One last stop on the way out of Treffner Gorge. We just pulled off to have a look at this ghost gum, which is, you can see behind us. It's significant, I guess, because it's the biggest one of its species that's known about. They say it's the biggest one in existence, so I guess it's the biggest one they've found. But yeah, they're a significant tree, obviously, of the arid and tropical areas of Northern Australia. They're pretty common in the Northern Territory and inland parts of Queensland. And yeah, they're a stunning tree.
I don't know. I get so excited about this sort of stuff. I might be the only person watching this that is excited about this sort of stuff.
It's an impressive tree.
This tree's stunning. Like, it's beautiful. And I think what I've noticed from people from overseas is that white trees are very unique to Australia in particular. So I know that people like travelling over here are really keen to see these white trees that have white trunks, and this is by far the best I've ever seen. It's stunning. It's 33 metres tall.
Yeah, so it's
Looks
not
decent. Like
it's not massive on tree standards, I guess, but for these, it's big. Yeah, they're an incredibly robust and resilient tree. You see what some of the places that they're growing out of the rocky outcrops and stuff, and yeah, it's not where you'd choose to live.
Might even have a chance of growing one when we get back if they're that resilient.
This one's only 300 years old, so it should be big enough for your kids' kids or something.
I know.
Okay, so we came out of Treffner Gorge, chucked a left to head further west on Ross Highway, only a couple of k's up the road on the sealed road, and then we're now heading up on what they call the Altunga Tourist Drive, I think it's called, which also forms part of the Bins Track, which is a four-wheel drive track that runs from right down at Mount Dare all the way up to Timber Creek in the Northern Territory. And so we're going to make our way through to Altunga, which is one of the original settlements of the Red Centre, they call it, or of Northern Territory, I think. And then we're going to continue on from there and see how far we make it. Like I said, we're hoping to make it out to the highway today, but we have gotten away from camp late, so we won't be pushing it and have no idea what this road's going to be like. So let's go tackle it, and we'll see what we come across. Who knows what we're going to find, eh? You just never know. So we just pulled through Altunga, the old gold fossicking area, or not fossicking, old gold mining area. It was one of the original settlements of the Red Centre back in the late 1800s. If you're into that sort of thing, we're not really into that sort of stuff, but if you're into that sort of history and that, there's a fair bit of walking around and a few little drives you can do in around the old relics and stuff there. It says to allow but sort of between 2 and 4 hours depending on what drive and what walks you do. I don't think it's something that us or the kids are that interested in, so we're not going to spend too much time there, but I've heard if that's what you're into, it's probably quite good. So we're just going to keep heading on. The road is in interesting condition. It's very mixed, very varied. There's some good sections and there's some pretty rough stuff. You can see where the recent rains had an impact on the road. It's pretty chopped up in some places and there's still water lying on the road in a lot of places. But it's slow going, but it's certainly doable.
This looks so good. Love it.
did unfortunately hit quite a big bump before we came up over a crest and crashed into either a big rock or a big hole, one or the other. I couldn't really tell, but it was, yeah, we weren't going that quickly, but it must have been big because it jumped up and grabbed us. It bit us. You didn't do the tap, did you?
The tab?
Yeah. Drain the tap. There's water everywhere. Scirocco fan's falling apart. The door handle's fallen off the door of the bathroom. Easy stuff to fix, but just it looks dramatic when you first look in here and you can see pieces of your van just scattered through. Yeah, just this happens a fair bit. Just lots of little things like screws, just little things just rattle loose. Found this thing on the floor. I can't remember what it's from.
Oh, it's from the top of the shower. The lock on the shower. That's
right. I was going to say, I'm sure we found this before. It's rattled. So just little things like this. Anything that's got a little thread on it or anything, everything needs Loctite or some sort of sealant, like locking thing to lock it on. And I think when I put these screws back in, I'll put a little bit of Sikaflex or something on them just so that when you tighten them up, they sort of glue in there as well. I don't know. It's always just little things. There's never any big dramas, but I don't know. When you open the door of your van, you see pieces of your fan on the floor and screws in the door handle and stuff. But yeah, once you sort of work out what it all is, and it's never anything major. Screws rattle out of everything. Like the table, what have we lost screws out of? Heaps of stuff. The table's lost screws before. The window rattled a screw out of the window. The fridge has lost rivet. Like just
pretty much everything that's got screws.
Anything that's screwed in just rattles loose. It all just needs to be, like I said, glued in.
It took us ages to work out what that one was. It took us way longer than it should have.
Well, you don't know. You can't figure out where it comes from until you go to use the thing that it fell out of, and then you go, that's where that thing came from. And like the screws that were falling out of the table, we had no idea that they were falling out. We just kept finding screws every time we pulled up, and I think there's 8 screws or something to hold the table in, until the last one came out, and then the table moved. It's like, okay, this is where all those screws have come from that we've been looking for, or that we've been trying to figure out where they came from. I don't think I'm going to screw this handle back on now. I think I'll just put it in our container. It's all this rubbish. And the other thing we find is all the rubbish, like all the dirt and stuff on the floor, anything that's left in here, it must be just as the vibration goes, it just all goes to the centre of the van. So whenever you pull up, there's this strip down the middle of the van of any dirt and rubbish and anything that's been left on the floor. But it makes it quite convenient. It's very easy to sweep out there. It bounces out of either underneath, like in the cracks around the furniture and stuff that you can't quite get to when you're cleaning, or or between the floorboards. There's like hairline gaps between the floorboards, and it gets in there while we're at camp and then bounces out when we're driving.
This is just another thing that highlights how little of a domestic goddess I am. There's dirt everywhere.
Yeah, if Liz just bloody clean, she just bloody cleaned up properly, we wouldn't have these problems.
If I let you clean, it'd be immaculate. Simon's a perfectionist. I'll take these with me. Can you do the screws and clean? Thanks, honey. You look good cleaning.
Don't.
Suits you.
Don't play this game. Get out. Get out.
Nothing more attractive than
Get out of my van.
Nothing more attractive than you cleaning. Do it again. A little while ago, we drove past one of these tiny little ruins that when you're obviously making a house by stone, you make it as small as you possibly can. And I looked at it and went, who would live in something that small? And then Simon just looked at me like, you. And I'm like, oh yeah, we've got it. Our caravan's smaller. This is cool. Stonework here is awesome. Love it.
just pulled the camera in time. That was a big hole. He's nearly got mud in the window. Oh, we almost kept the van clean. A couple of mud holes back there. Got us sprayed, but anyway. Yeah, well, everything was going quite well, and the track's dried out a fair bit. Yeah, you can tell it's definitely was pretty wet a few days ago, and you wouldn't have wanted to be out here, especially not towing. There's just a big bog hole we've just come up across in the inside of a corner, and it's just in a riverbed. Just got out to have a quick look. It looks like she's all pretty firm underfoot. We should be fine, but yeah. Hey? Yeah. Yeah, should be right, I reckon, but yeah. Oh, well, that was a bit deeper than I was expecting. That wasn't too bad. It was a little bit slippy under there, actually. When I first came into it, I thought maybe I'm going into this a bit hard, but no, I'm glad I did, because yeah, it got a bit slippy there trying to drag the van through it. There's some deep mud in underneath it, I felt like. Anyway, through that bit, see what the rest of this track's got in order for us. It looks like in some places they've been out putting some lime on the road, maybe something like that to dry the road out a bit in some of the boggier sections. But I think now we're on the access road for the station, so we just passed the Hale River Homestead. So you can camp there as well at the Hale River Homestead. They've got a bit of a caravan park set up there if you're in the area and you're ready for a break or a stopover. But yeah, I think this bit of the road we're on now, we're sort of off the station tracks, and this is kind of their driveway basically, or their main access road in and out. So I would assume that it will be a bit better. Maybe not. We'll see how we go. That last section though, before we got up to that, those station tracks we're on was interesting little drive. You can see how it definitely would have been pretty gnarly to come through here a couple of days ago. I'm glad we gave it yesterday and this morning to dry out a bit. Not to say we wouldn't have made it, but it certainly would have been messy. It would have made a mess of our ute and van, and also a mess of the track. So yeah, the majority of it now is pretty dry. It's just a few little bog holes and a few little muddy sections. But we're just going to keep making our way out towards the highway. It's been an absolutely beautiful drive through here. Just stunning, varied scenery. Yeah, coming through the range initially, and then out into some of these more open plains with the range in the distance. It's bloody beautiful. Oh, here's a big hole. Tell you what, when you hit some of those little bog holes, there's not much to them, but you got 3 tonne hanging off the back of the car, that's for sure. You feel it when the van hits it. There's definitely a bit of an anchor behind us. But yeah, I mean, it's good when they're relatively short, because obviously by the time the van is in the deepest part of the mud, the ute's already through it and up on hard ground. A longer bog hole, you'd definitely a longer bog hole, you'd probably want a bit more momentum just to make it through. I was sort of thinking, as I got that little nervous moment going through that big one, thinking, oh crap, have I hit this one hard enough? Have I got enough momentum? But I mean, it ended up being fine, but I did think then maybe you should have put your diff lock in just in case. Diff locks are a funny thing. It seems after you get bogged isn't the best time to use them. Sort of like four-wheel drive, put it in four-wheel drive before you need it, not when you think, oh, probably should have had it in four-wheel drive, because yeah, once you're stuck, it doesn't help you as much.
Hey, I heard you want to leave this place where we grew up. This old town, just put it all behind. Remember you and I would always find somewhere to hide when we were kids, so we could see and hear the water run. The river's gonna cry when you're gone. passing by, leave a mark in our marks to turn to memories. The river's gonna cry when you're gone, 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 gone. The river's gonna cry when you're gone, 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 gone. The river's gonna cry when you're gone, 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 gone. The river's gonna cry when you're. The river's gonna cry when you're. The river's gonna cry when you're gone. I was hoping you would stay, but I've always known you would go and find your own way. I still see when we climbed up in those trees, 12 years old, feel the wind and watch the river run. And the sun would always shine when we sat there, you and I. The river's gonna cry when you're gone, 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 gone. The river's gonna cry when you're gone, 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 gone. The river's gonna cry when you're gone, 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 gone. The river's gonna cry when you're. The river's gonna cry when you're. The river's gonna cry when you're gone. It's gonna cry, it's gonna cry. River's gonna cry when you're gone. It's gonna cry, it's gonna cry. Hey, I heard you want to leave this place where we grew up. This old town, just leave it all behind. The river's gonna cry when you're gone.
Where are you going?
I don't know. I'm always on this side. This is my side.
Well, don't send the rescue party out. We made it. Have a go at the rig. There's mud everywhere. We've been through big holes and small holes and muddy sections and everything. Anyway, that was a really cool, fun little drive. Obviously, the rain recently has made it even more exciting than it would have been otherwise, but scenic, just great fun, varied driving. Yeah, we had a fun, didn't we?
We did. I even had a little drive there for a little bit, and it was good. It was good. There wasn't a whole lot to see and do on the actual track itself, but the track was nice.
There are a few things back closer to Altunga that we sort of skipped over. That was pretty early in the day for us, and we wanted to get some Ks under the belt. We're a bit itching to get north, to be honest. We're itching to get north, or I am. Liz isn't so much.
Simon is itching to get north.
I want to get north, so
it is cold here.
So that was just, yeah. Look, all that spray on that just says fun to me. That just shows how much fun. That's our fun score.
That just says cleaning to me.
Yeah, something for Liz to do later.
You.
Oh, sorry,
darling, for you.
Well, that kind of wraps up our East McDonald's section as well, obviously, but it also wraps up our red centre. We're just over here behind the camera where you can't see is the Stuart Highway. We're about to turn right and head north towards Darwin. So that kind of wraps up the red centre. We've spent almost a month in and around Alice Springs and really sort of explored it in almost its entirety. There's a few things still left on the table that we'll check out next time we're in the area, but you know, you can't do everything, eh? Or if we did, we never bloody see anything else. So thanks for watching this episode. We really hope you've enjoyed it. It's more than Uluru, it's more than Kings Canyon, and it's more than the West McDonald's, but it's everything in between. It's those things as well. It's just blown us away. It is not just a big rock in the middle of the desert. It is just the variety of the terrain and the vegetation and everything in this area, the geology, the history, I don't know, everything. It's just bloody unreal. There's just so much here to see and do, and there is not a single bit that is boring.
We absolutely loved all the gorges, all the riverbeds. It was stunning. Like, the geology of this place is just amazing. It is, I'm not into geology and it's so good. Yeah, come here, see it for yourself. If you've got a friend that will do the Larapinta with you, do that. Yeah, it's just unreal. There's barely a flat section out here. I can't believe how hilly and mountainous the terrain is out here.
It's just, the waterways and everything, the dry riverbeds, the creeks, the water holes, everything. It's just, I don't know. If you can't tell, we've had a ball. We've absolutely loved it.
We have had a ball.
So I hope you've enjoyed those. Coming up in the next episode will be the Devil's Marbles, a good outback pub, a little iconic outback pub, and we're going to be continuing on north. We might even squeeze up to get a swim in. We'll see how we go. So check that out. That'll be coming up next. Thanks again for watching. Hit like, hit subscribe, leave us a comment, let us know what you thought of these episodes, and let us know what you did when you were here or what you'd like to see. What was your favourite? I don't know, just give us some feedback. We love it.
We do love it.
We're going to jump back in the car, go find a little roadside camp somewhere tonight, and that's us signing off. We'll see you next Sunday.
See you Sunday.
Bye.
That's not going to end well. Simon goes, you can go film the tree. I'll be in the car. I'm like, that's not going to end well. I'll be here getting as much footage as I possibly can of this tree, and then he'll just be getting shirty in the car waiting for me like, you don't need that much footage of a tree, Liz. Literally has only been, a minute and a half, and he's already turned the engine on and started to rev it as a hint, we've got to go. That's the car beeping. You are getting a little impatient there, Dale. You've got somewhere to be.
I was hoping that GoPro battery would go flat quicker. It lasted a lot longer than I thought it would. I mean, it's an impressive tree, but there's only so many angles and shots you need of a bloody tree. Anyway, we're on the road now. That's the main thing.